What's up? What's up? So, look, I know this video is highly out of place. I know it's really only my second posting, but I'm trying to get in the habit of starting to record again. My life was kind of just got real crazy with work. A lot of things changed, and all good. All some even great. But yeah, so this video. Rivian with their press release today. I've recently joined the EV crowd. There'll be a video coming out about that, but I know this video is just out of left field. But talking about the business side of the things I enjoy, like my electric vehicle and my motorcycle, kind of speaks to my passion. I went to school, I have a business degree, so let's get into it. Today, Rivian, in their press release for their R1T, that pickup truck, I've seen a lot of videos on it. I'm not going to get into the specs. Go to the website. It's pretty insane. But when I only say insane by comparison to what we know about power and towing capacity and pickup trucks in general, because the pickup truck game has pretty much been dominated by Ford, and then everybody else is basically following Ford's lead, or either following Ford's lead, I should say, or trying to be different but the same as Ford. So I wouldn't call it the holy grail of vehicles going electric, but I'm going to say it's probably the most significant. And what's funny, by the fact that it hasn't become mainstream is kind of sad when you think about it. What is a pickup truck? Let's start there. Pickup truck is a body-on-frame vehicle. That means you have two frame rails that are relatively straight with a body on top of them, suspension, everything else is on the frame, and then the body sits on top. With that being said, a pickup truck lends itself to be the ideal format for electrification because you already have a platform the batteries can sit in. I mean, you really don't have to design anything. You just design the battery to fit inside the frame. And I know that's oversimplifying it by a lot, but essentially the conundrum of space when it comes to electric vehicles is where to put the battery. You don't have that with a pickup truck, so it's a shame that the big three haven't jumped on the opportunity to build an electric pickup truck. Hell, even partner with Tesla supercharger to make range anxiety, quote unquote. I'll do a video on range anxiety and how I think it's BS at this point. But to combat the range anxiety, if you partner with Tesla superchargers, and now you have you nearly, in some cases, triple the amount of charging availability, depending on the market you're in, of your truck, especially the way battery technology is going. See another video. But one of the common themes, and I've seen a couple of little headlines: should Tesla be afraid? Yes and no. Tesla should be afraid that someone's going to do what they do better, because the SUV, that the R1S, I argue is more significant to Tesla than the R1T, because the R1S is going to come out at a lower price point than the Model X, with more space, more power, longer range, more capable, more towing than the Model X could even imagine to have. So who should really be afraid is GM, Ford, FCA, even Toyota. I mean, pickup trucks make up such a huge segment of the market. If they're, Nissan as well, and not so much Nissan, because they're already in the electrification game. They're doing it the most worldwide. For them to turn the Titan to an electric vehicle I'd argue that it would be easier for them than anybody else. But really the big three, right? Why should they be afraid? And I'm surprised no one really pointed this out, that if this vehicle makes the production at the price point they're saying, a base model EV is better than a fully loaded most vehicles. Prime example, I was previously driving a 2012 Kia Forte Coupe. Fun little, econo coupe. It was quick. My BMW i3 Rex is not fully base models. You can see I got the bigger screen, but it's pretty basic. Like, I went and built one of these the way that I have it, and it's pretty much the base. There ain't a whole lot more to put in here but leather interior. If you take that price point, the $61,000 price after tax incentives, right, which would essentially make it $68,000. A comparably priced Ford F-150 is about $65,000. If you take amenity for amenity, what that truck's going to have in it, all the connectivity, all the towing capacity, the power, the closest F-150 you'll get might run you back $65,000, right? The price, the tax incentive really doesn't even affect whether or not you choose the Rivian versus an F-150 or, a Silverado. I mean, I'm a huge GMC, I love the GMC pickup. If I had a need for one, I'd buy one in a heartbeat. But for real, a fully loaded one of those costs you, 75, 80 grand. And for around the same price, you figure if they're starting at 61, right, after incentives, you're probably going to end up at about 80 fully loaded. And I can't get 800 horsepower out of a GMC Sierra 1500. I'm not getting 800 horsepower out of a Ford F-150. And I'm definitely not getting 14,000 foot-pounds of torque or whatever that thing's going to have. If that's what it actually comes with, I'm not getting that much torque. I'm not getting 11,000 pounds towing capacity out the box. And that's why I think that the big three should be afraid, because this truck, provided it makes it to production, will out-truck the truck company. And for those who don't know, and this is why I'm excited to see this truck, someone build a real electrified pickup truck, price it right. I understand it helps that the numbers are coming down as far as the cost of the batteries and cost of the motors. But when you really think about it, if you really built out a purpose-built electric truck with the technology we have right now, Ford loses. Performance-wise, every gasoline pickup truck loses. When you don't have to worry about weight, and you don't have to worry about size, and you can just put the biggest, baddest motor in there and keep it under 80 grand, that's a fast truck. That's a powerful truck. That's a truck that can tow, and that's a truck that can drive a long way. Unloaded, of course. I mean, 400 mile range unloaded is probably going to be more like 280 once you load it down with stuff. But again, how much range are you really getting out of a Ford F-150 after it's loaded down? And then once you factor in, I'm going to do a video breaking down the cost of driving my BMW i3 with the range extender versus driving my Kia Forte Coupe, and the cost difference. I mean, I bought this used at 21,000 miles. I was trading in a vehicle with 76,000 miles, and I've had my 2012 Forte for 6 years. Definitely going to be doing more driving than I did at the beginning of that car's life cycle, but they'll balance out. And I'll explain all that in that video. But when you factor in the cost of charging to the cost of gas, just charging it at pay stations, this truck will obliterate any gas truck when you run the numbers. Number by number, performance by performance, comparably equipped, I guarantee you, you're looking at very least a King Ranch F-150 to get close to the Rivian base model. And I have a feeling we're going to see some big things happen with the big three. GM has already positioned themselves to take advantage of the market. I'm gonna post a part 2 of this video here a little bit later, but GM closing these plants, you know, don't believe Agent Orange about why they're closing, quote unquote, the plants, because that's a whole different story in itself. I'm just giving broad stroke overview, giving my own personal analysis. I'm pulling things from videos I've watched, videos that have come out today, and just kind of analyzing what I see the trends are. This is my own opinion. If I give you facts, go research me, debunk me. But I'm telling you, this is my own analysis of the market based on my education in the business field and what I do in the business field. I'm in sales, so these things I have to watch out for. But yeah, that's my opinion. Tesla really doesn't have anything to worry about. I feel like they're just their truck will just compete very well with the Rivian. It's the big three that should be worried. Specifically Ford. They have the most to lose because they have the biggest market share. Rivian will not overtake Ford. So before anyone says there's no way Rivian can overtake Ford in sales, that's not the issue. The issue is that you're going to have people not upgrading their trucks. Ford F-150 survives on upgrade. People buy a Ford F-150 and they keep it for about the last time I looked, and it's been a couple years, but I want to say the average ownership life of a new Ford F-150 is about 5 years. About 5 years. I can't remember if it was 5 or 6, but we'll say 5. We'll make it short of 5. Let's say it's 5, right? Just to make easy numbers. You have people that have purchased the latest Ford F-150, the latest generation when they first came out. That was 2013, 14. The first aluminum truck, 2013, 14. What year are we in? 2018. I guarantee you they see a single digit drop in sales. If this truck makes it to market, if Tesla follows suit and pushes their truck to production faster and price it appropriately, not $180,000 Tesla, and price it competitively, I guarantee you there are holdouts. I guarantee you there will be holdouts. And then where Ford and the big three will really suffer is the used market. Again, not that they make money on the used market, but having those trucks recirculate through the system puts people in position. People generally, there is a percentage of people that buy a used pickup truck, they will buy a new pickup truck. When those pickup trucks recycle through, those buyers are going to want, when they start seeing the performance, when you go to the drag strip, when you see them on the trail, when you see them towing, when people see that they can't do what this truck does in the country that survives on dick measuring, they're going to get left in the dust. I'm going to do a follow-up to this video and talk a little bit about GM, what GM is poised to do, and they kind of announced it, but they are setting themselves up to be prepared for the future. Be prepared for GM to make some moves. If you're a stock buyer, this is the time to purchase GM stock. I know they had a bump from all their closing talk because it shows that they're being fiscally responsible. This is the time to start looking at timing your GM stock purchase. I'm gonna tell you that. Why? I'm gonna tell you why in a little bit in the next video. All right, I need to go get this food before my wife yells at me because I've been out for a while now. Yeah, ELE. Everybody love everybody. Holla at y'all next time.